Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Painted Dog TV. Myself, Gareth Poole, guiding you on the epic Rietspruit Game Reserve this afternoon. I've got my very good friend and trusted colleague Andrew on camera with me, and we are very excited to go see what we can find. It's been a lovely day. It's not boiling hot anymore, which I'm very grateful for. It was a very hot morning. I was actually out this morning, had an amazing game drive where we got to see the two big male lions from our coalition of 3. They actually had an attempt on some giraffe this morning, and that was pretty damn exciting. Although they were unsuccessful, still amazing to watch them stalk and watch how the one male circled around the herd of giraffe and then try to push the rest of the herd back towards his brother that was just lying in ambush. So a plan that almost came together, but they were unsuccessful. So they're just sleeping right up in the north of the reserve at the moment. Also got to see a beautiful big white rhino bull. So it's been a good morning, and hopefully that's going to continue into this afternoon, everybody. Very excited to have you with us. We have actually just left camp. We had a quick look at Mamba Dam this morning because Andrew said he heard impala alarm calling there. We did see one track, literally a single track, of what looked like a female leopard drinking there. Just spotted two very young kudu here on the left. Little kudu checking us out right now. I wonder where their moms are. Oh, there they go. Generally a very shy antelope, particularly the youngsters. And I assume their mothers have already gone down towards the drainage line, direction they're headed. Oh, there we go. One trotted off there, one of the mothers. Very nice. Right, let's see. Who have we got with us this afternoon? Mary, Brandy, Barbara, Betty, Jan, Atropa, Guido, Elsa. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully going to be a cracking afternoon. So I'm doing my usual routine, everybody. I'm going to head straight to these two water holes not far from camp called Lemundoreng. A very productive area of late. There's been a lot of activity of just about all of the game around these two water holes. So I'm just going to head up there first, start there, and see if we can see any signs of the game that have come to drink there. Hopefully something fresh. Certainly tracks of a troop of vervet monkeys headed that direction. I see the tracks here on the road. Sorry, Jana, can you repeat that again, please? Aha, I see. Thank you, Jana. So just getting an update from Jana, who's at FC this afternoon. This message goes out particularly to our pack members. For those of you who are interested in trying to get your hands on that incredible photograph that Andrew took of the vultures, the keyword for this week that you need to send to us is carrion. It's a pretty good word, particularly when it comes to vultures. Of course, it's Vulture Week. Yesterday was International Vulture Day. And of course tonight's show, which I will be hosting at 7 p.m. South African time, of course, is all about vultures and vulture conservation, everybody. So please join us tonight, 7 o'clock. We have an incredible interview with John Davies, who does amazing work with vultures in our area and surrounding areas. Really looking forward to it. But yes, the key word for the pack members to send in is carrion. So just remember that if you're going to submit and try to get your hands on that photograph. I can finally see the mountains again, well not very crystal clear, but there's been a lot of fire around of late. Very, very smoky. Been a little while since I've seen the elephants. They are still hanging out in that same area, the southeastern corner of the reserve, near that big water hole that they've been swimming in quite a lot lately. I'm pretty sure they're down in that area again this afternoon. I might end up trying that area a bit later today. I'm first going to check these two waterholes. I'm looking for sign of leopard and rhino here, and then we'll probably head a bit further east towards Dam, this big waterhole in the east of the reserve. See if we get lucky with the elephants. Love to see them again, particularly if they're swimming. It's always such an incredible moment watching them swim. There certainly are lots of signs of rhino on the road here, lots of dung, some tracks, but nothing very fresh. Maybe yesterday afternoon by the looks of things. Getting very close to this waterhole now, or the two waterholes, big reservoir off to our right and the small little trough off to our left. We'll start with the trough. There's definitely a set of giraffe tracks heading down this way, heading both directions. Well, there's certainly been a lot of activity here today. There's tracks everywhere. You look at the ground here, it's amazing how the ground tells you a story of who's come and gone. And the bulk of it is impala. Lots of baboon. You can see the giraffe tracks, these massive hoof tracks, two-toed tracks. Amazing, there's some very big baboons that were here as well. I mean, look at the size of this baboon print here. I mean, it's almost the size of my hand. Now they have 5 digits just like us, but this is the actual pad or heel of the baboon, and its thumb goes off here, and then the rest of the 4 toes in the front of the heel. But it's massive. That's a big male baboon that came to drink here. Yeah, it looks like there were quite a few giraffe here today too. No rhino or leopard tracks, however. There's a giraffe. Just staring at me as I drove past here. Big male. Hello, big guy. Probably making his way towards the waterhole we've just come from. Sure, he is beautiful. In his prime, for sure. You can see the calcium buildup that's formed on his forehead below those ossicones from years of fighting. Very alert, eh? These giraffe are always, very careful when they approach water. They know that these predators often hide out around the waterhole, waiting to ambush whatever prey comes to drink. He's changing his plan. It could be because of us. So I think we'll just let him be. We'll carry on. Lovely sighting though. So the good news is the Pride has all regrouped. I think they regrouped last night. All 6 of them were found this morning. They're still on Kai and Lowveld at the moment, but it looks like they will be coming our side again probably sometime tonight. They're not far from the Blowbunk side of the reserve. Good afternoon, Carol. Good to have you with us, even if it's briefly. Right, I'm just heading back now to the reservoir just to see if there's any signs there. I love this reservoir because water has spilled out. I don't know if it has today, but often water spills over or out of this reservoir onto the road, and it's amazing for bird life. And here's our friend the giraffe crossing the road up ahead. He took the shortcut, of course. Such a beautiful shot with him through here. He is a magnificent specimen. Oh, here's a creature we don't see all that often. Beautiful little steenbok, which might have just come from this reservoir for a drink. Just hiding out in the shade here for the time being. Looks like a male. Gorgeous little antelope. That's fully grown, by the way, everybody. Male steenbok. Extremely territorial little antelope. They are solitary. You do sometimes see them in pairs, of course, when they're mating. And what I find fascinating about them is that they bury their dung. They'll literally scrape soil over their little pellets, their little droppings. I think he's actually heading for a drink. You can see him feeding now. You know, you look at where he's feeding, close to the ground, and you would easily think that he is a grazer feeding on grass, but he's not. He's actually a browser. He's feeding the new little leaves that are shooting on these little plants growing along the side of the road here. Hello, regular. Lovely. Last station, please go ahead, go again.
I repeat, Ellie's at circuit.
Copy, thanks. Right, let's creep up a little bit closer to the steenbok. Hopefully we won't spook him. I think he's going to have a drink. The reservoir I've been talking about is just up ahead here. Oh no, don't run away. I'll tell you what. What we'll do is we'll go and just wait at the water and see if he returns. But alas, it doesn't look like there's a lot of water outside of the reservoir today. None at all. Tracks of a male leopard here. I just want to see how fresh they are for starters, and then secondly which direction he's going. But Andrew might be able to point them out to you here. I'm going to jump off and quickly show you guys this male leopard's tracks. There's a nice clear one here. So that is his back foot right here. And that is his front foot over here. They look pretty good. tracks do continue down the road here. But because we've already come from that side and we didn't find any tracks around that little drinking trough, my gut tells me that this leopard probably cut south, and it could very well be the one that was at Mamba Dam, our waterhole outside our camp this morning. Tracks are good, so it looks like the tracks are from this morning, but there's a lot of other game that have walked over this leopard's tracks, and judging by the direction, I'm sure it's the one that was spotted by the impala at the waterhole that Andrew heard alarm calling this morning. So I'm not going to follow those tracks, everybody. Keep going. Our friend the male giraffe is sticking with us this afternoon, just ambling along the road here. Wide-eyed, yes. You got to be very careful of a giraffe's kick. There was a tracker that died several years ago in the Sabi Game Reserve. Him and his guide had found a pride of lions, and these lions were trying to bring down a giraffe, and they had been sat quite a distance watching this happen. And in the blink of an eye, this giraffe ended up being quite close to the front of the vehicle, and the guide didn't really have anywhere to go. And these lions kept trying to jump on the back of this giraffe, and to the point where this giraffe tried to kick out at a lion and actually ended up kicking the tracker square in his chest and killed him immediately on impact. A really sad story. But just a very harsh reminder to be very careful of a giraffe's kick. Extremely powerful animal. And lions are well aware of that, so they'll actually more often than not try and force a giraffe through difficult terrain to try and get it to fall down before actually trying to jump on the back of it. Good afternoon, Jennifer. I see you asking me the question about your closest live encounter with any of the animals, or the scariest. Well, there have been many. It's sort of part and parcel with being a guide or a tracker. Out here in the bush, we often run into these animals on foot. There are very rarely any scary moments when you're in a vehicle, to be honest, because most of the time these animals are quite comfortable with the presence of a truck or a game drive vehicle. They've become very habituated to it, but of course we spend a lot of time on foot trying to track down these animals, and that's when the scary moments have happened, or most of them. And I've had run-ins with all of the big game, but I think some of the scariest moments have been probably with leopard, lion and buffalo on foot. I've had a buffalo put me in a tree before, a big buffalo bull. I've also had lion and leopard charge at me to the point where they stop 3 feet in front of you. And with them, with the big cats, the only thing you can do is just stand still, stand your ground, and absolutely freeze and wait for these big cats to then retreat. With you standing still, they almost feel more intimidated when they come charging at you, as long as you don't move, and then they'll retreat. And then you can slowly backtrack away from that cat. But with the big stuff, like buffalo, elephant and rhino, you can't really stand your ground, you've got to run. And the trees are your best friend, particularly with rhino and buffalo. So like I say, I've had to climb a tree before for buffalo. I've had to run from elephants. I've had to run from white rhino, actually. The good thing with rhino, or the lucky thing for us, is their eyesight's not particularly good. Particularly their peripheral vision is not very good. And so if you can quickly get behind cover and remember, to stay downwind, the rhino will lose you pretty quickly. So you just dash initially to the nearest thicket you can see. There's some zebra here at this waterhole this afternoon. Yeah, so you just dash behind a big thicket and then freeze there, and then the rhino should just go running by. They won't be able to see you as long as they can't smell you. And then the only scary moments I've had in the vehicle have been with elephants. But I mean, in my whole life, 37 years, there's been a handful of scary moments with elephant in a vehicle. Oh, zebras. They are not sticking around here, sadly. Oh, we've seen this female zebra before. She's got a massive gash on her right flank. Ow, that is not healing well. My goodness. So she's leading the herd at the moment. She's right up front there. I don't know if you saw that gash. Now she's just creeping away there. A big gash on her right flank. Not too sure what happened there, but she's had it. The first time I've seen her was probably about 10 days ago now. Could be the lions. Very, very good chance it was the lions that attacked her, but she managed to get away.
Good afternoon. There are 3 or 4 stations on
I feel bad for having disturbed their drink here. But the good thing is we know that there's lots of water around on the reserve. They can just head off to the next waterhole. I've just heard a recent update that the elephants have been seen this afternoon. As predicted, they're in that southeastern corner, but apparently in a very dense area, so the viewing of the herd is not very good. It's kind of why I haven't been going down there a lot of late. It's quite a tough area to get in. And we're trying to not get too close to these elephants when they're in thick bush, because there's been a number of incidents where they've come right up to the vehicle. The bull is still in must as well, so you don't really want to be close to him in thick bush. He's a little bit grumpy when he's in must. So I'm not going to go down there this afternoon, everybody. So we're going to change our plan. I'm going to keep searching for any signs, fresh signs of rhino and leopard, but also going to push on towards the male lions that I left sleeping this morning close to Leadwood, further north of here, and just see what they get up to. If they're still in the same place. I don't think anybody's found them yet this afternoon. Yeah, pregnant zebras. I sometimes even get it wrong. You know, they all look so incredibly plump because, of course, their digestive system. These zebra are hindgut fermenters, so they are just full of gas. It's quite tough to actually tell when they're pregnant. They will obviously be a little bit wider when they're pregnant, but also the belly hangs lower to the ground when they're pregnant. What is that? Is it a warthog? Yeah. Okay. Jeez, I just saw a big cloud of dust there. Andrew, do these high sensors have Telegram on them?
They should.
No, I'm going to need YouTube. My phone's dying. There you go. Afternoon, Sandy. I am making my way there, but I'm still a ways out. I'm around Sandkamp.
Okay, copy that. Thanks. And is there anyone with a rhino at Rietspruit Town?
Thank you kindly. must be two different chats, because the one I was reading is different to this one. But that's certainly got more of the viewers. Matt, are you listening to us? Right, now folks, I'm just about to go through a really bad signal area. So there are bound to be a couple of gremlins in the next little while, but it will be brief. So just bear with us. We may lose picture, but just temporarily. Di, to answer your question about the two new rhino, no, not regularly. I actually don't know of a recent sighting of those two rhino. They've been quite Matt or Joanna or Brian. I just want to know which YouTube channel I'm meant to be on in terms of reading the feed and the questions. There's two different ones. Thank you very much. Well, that's good news. We're on the right one. Can you stop your screen from locking?
Yeah.
Thanks, bud. Sorry, everybody. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything that you are chatting about. So there, of course, are two different links to our drive this afternoon, the private and the public links. And if you want to be interacting with myself or any of the other Painted Dog guides during these virtual safaris, please become a pack member. Download the painteddog.tv app, become a pack member, and you'll then be able to interact with us, ask us questions about what we're seeing, what we're doing, ask us anything really, and interact with me whilst I'm out on one of these amazing drives. Hang on. Di, I don't know if you got my answer to your question. We were going through the gremlin patch, but the answer to your question about the rhino, the new rhino that is that no, they haven't been seen regularly. But they're still here, we know that much. We've seen their tracks, but we're not seeing them. I know that Kevin's been trying to find them quite a lot. We haven't managed to really get there yet because they are sticking around the most northern part of the reserve. So they haven't been seen for a couple of days now. Those two new white rhino heifers. Now I've just stopped here briefly, everybody, because I just want to listen to the bush. I want to see if we don't hear anything interesting or exciting. Maybe get lucky with an alarm call. It's definitely a woodpecker somewhere here. Oh. Yeah, right at the top of this knobthorn. Not going to be easy to see it. Looks like there's a pair of them. Look like cardinal woodpeckers. They're squabbling. Oh, they're not cardinal, they're bearded. Bearded woodpeckers. Such a gorgeous afternoon. Everything's golden at the moment out here in our spring. All the grasses have turned to yellow. Most beautiful orange sunset. Pretty quiet out here for now. Right, let's keep going. Apologies for the gremlins, everybody. We're just going through one of these steep drainage lines here again. Should look better. We are out of that little drainage line, so the signal should be a lot better, everybody. So I'm pushing north towards where I left these 2 male lines resting this morning. They were pretty close to one of the corners of the reserve, a corner of the fences. But they were in an area where there wasn't a heck of a lot of shade, so they might have moved slightly just for deeper shade. It was pretty hot around the middle of today. So we may need to do some tracking. We'll see how it goes when we get a bit closer. Interesting. A black rhino with her calf walked along here, but it looks like this morning going the opposite direction. A ton of zebra and impala tracks on top of these rhino tracks. Man, we still need to find that black rhino on one of these drives, Andrew. We have to. Such a shy creature, the black rhino. Very difficult to see them. A squirrel alarm calling here on the right hand side. Looking out this way. These squirrels will alarm call for a number of different predators. Birds of prey, snakes, but then the cats as well. And it's not just the big cats. The smaller cats as well, so African wildcat, serval, caracal. You never really know. Just going to go back ever so slightly. Just to make sure there isn't a predator I'm missing here. The squirrel has gone quiet now, however. I don't see anything there. But like I say, it could be one of the smaller cats. Serval and African wildcat are so easy to miss in this tall grass. False alarm, I reckon. Afternoon. Good to have you with us. Right, we are getting closer to the male lions, everybody, or at least where they were last seen. And I do want to try and get there quite quickly now because nobody has gone to go look for them. And I'm just concerned they may have moved, and then I'm going to need to track them down. And we, of course, are running out of time and running out of light, so I'm just going to pick up the pace ever so slightly. Hopefully we're lucky and they're just lying in the same spot. Very possible. It's been a warm day in the middle of the day today. I also want to spend some time with them just in case they might get active. The temperature is now just starting to drop a little bit, and they are hungry, these two male lions. They were looking not unusually skinny, but they certainly haven't eaten for a couple of days, and they gave it their best shot in trying to bring down some giraffe this morning, but they were unsuccessful. Right, so it was just up ahead here, everybody, on this corner where I left these male lions. This morning. Where have you gone, boys? Looks like they have moved, but probably not too far. Yeah, Sandy's. So it was just here where they were this morning. Easiest shade to get to might have been just down here in this drainage line. Just have a quick look here. Nope, not in there either. human being up ahead there. Just taking a stroll on the other side of the fence here. Now there of course are no big animals on the other side of this fence, an area called Raptors Estate. Yeah, I'm in the area now of the male lines. Haven't managed to relocate yet, but still checking. I think these lines might have gone past this corner here. Just have a quick look. Standing by.
Gareth, I wasn't out this morning. Is that the same lock that the lions were in this morning?
Yeah, so the corner of Raptors, Blowbonk, Leadwood Dead is where they were, but they have moved.
Okay, copy. I'm on Leadwood Drive at the corner of Knobthorne, and there are what look to me like fairly fresh lion tracks heading west. They have been driven over by a couple of cars, but so I don't know if the lions came down here and then doubled back to head back to that corner. I'll just keep following these tracks and see where they go.
Okay, copy, thanks. So you'll hear me talking to my father now on the radio. So it sounds like my dad's got tracks of the other male lion. A single male, the injured male. Where he is, he's back here on Leadwood. Sandy, where are you coming from?
I'm only on Homestead now, so I can come from Cumbriton.
Okay, copy that. Yeah, I don't see any tracks here on Twin Crossings. Maybe you can just check Lodgepan.
Okay, copy. The last block was they were in the block lying, I presume, in the shade. And Andre left them there early this morning, or late morning.
Copy that. Struggling to see any tracks of where these lines have gone here. These boys are playing hard to get. So as I mentioned before, everybody, these lions were hungry this morning. So you never know, they might have double backed on themselves. You know, they came from Leadwood towards this point and we assumed they were going to go east towards the Pride, but they might have done a U-turn and gone back towards, there's a little waterhole not far from here. They might have gone back that way because they heard prey there.
Good afternoon. Not too. There was a rhino on the front baseline. He's gone into the bush. There were lions.
Okay, let's quickly go check. Let's go back to this water hole, everybody, and see if these lines didn't go that way. It's weird that they would have gone that far back, but there's literally no sign of them here. Never mind. Now there's signs of them here. This is where they walked. So I'm actually just going to take a drive in here, everybody. Rather than walking in, I don't want to disturb these male lions. I think there's a very, very good chance that they were sleeping here, close by here. So I'll rather go in with the vehicle. We know that they're very comfortable with the vehicle, rather than going in on foot and disturbing them. Yeah, you see there's some big trees up ahead here, some big knobthorn trees that would have created some good shade throughout the day. Ah, here's a lion right here, both of them. Oh, am I glad I didn't continue walking on foot. I would have ruined their afternoon siesta. That's for sure. Hello, boys. Relocated those two male lions. Oh, one day when the radio wakes up. Look at this, everybody. Oh my word. Oh, something got his attention. Yes, Mary, you're right. Literally 10 more steps and I think these lions would have growled at me. That's how close we were. Relocated the 2 male lions. They're just south of Twin Crossings, pretty close to their last position in that corner. Having a good snooze. So cool. I love moments like that. We definitely made the right call though, getting back into the vehicle and rather coming in here with a vehicle. I knew they were going to be close by here. Oh, other boys rolling over. That one that's rolling over at the back there, when we saw him this morning, he's got a fresh gash over his right eye, so I think his brother gave him a whack. He actually walked the entire morning with that right eye shut. Oh, you boys certainly have the life. I can never get over the size of these cats' heads. They're just massive. Being this close to them, can actually hear them exhaling. Incredible. Just scrolling back through some of the comments here, everybody. And I see Liz was asking about the injury to the other male lion. Yeah, we're not entirely sure what happened, but suspect that it was a fight with his brothers, these two. These two ganged up on him and potentially have injured his hip, his back left hip. He's struggling to put weight on it. There's certainly a lot of muscle atrophy around the hip on the left hand side. But, you know, that injury's old now. It's almost a month old, and he's still keeping up, for the most part, with the pride in these two other males. He's eaten regularly. He's killed 2 wildebeest calves on his own during that time. He was feeding on an impala a couple of days ago, which we believe he might have stolen from a leopard. And yeah, he's still getting along. So that's the best thing he can do, really, is just, you know, keep eating, keep drinking. So we're hoping he's going to make a full recovery. These cats are incredibly resilient. Dead to the world. Sandy for Gareth.
Standing by.
I don't know if you copied, but I have relocated these two. You should get my visual from Twin Crossings, just west of the Raptors Leadwood Blowbunk corner.
Gareth, I copied you about 1 out of 5, but I'm not going to respond. Thanks.
Copy that. What I would really like to do here this afternoon, everybody, is just spend a little while longer here. We're approaching that time where these two males usually get active. I'd really love to see that. Love to see them get up. Potentially roar, potentially move off as well. We'll probably spend another half an hour here with these two boys, see what happens. As mentioned, they were trying to hunt this morning, so you never know as well. I mean, if any prey species come walking by here, even though they look dead to the world lying flat on the ground here, as most of you will know, their senses are incredible, so they'll pick up on that movement close by and may even go into hunting mode. I'm actually quite surprised they didn't put their heads up while I was walking in here. I was walking on soft sand, however, along that game path, so that's possibly why. They may not have heard my footfalls on the soft sand. Oh, they definitely dream, Jennifer. You'll see them. You'll see them twitch and move their paws. Maybe they're dreaming about giraffe. That's one of his teeth sticking out there. One of his canines. It certainly is. One of his, or his top canine is visible there. Just having a look through my binoculars at that canine, but I moved slightly further back to his mane. It's just incredible how thick and how dense that mane is around the neck, and for very good reason. The reason these male lions grow these thick manes is to protect them. When they fight with each other, they very often attack each other around the neck and head. I've seen male lions fight quite a few times, and when they're tearing into each other, you just see tufts of this mane flying everywhere. But rather that than, obviously those teeth and claws getting into their skin. Di, the answer to your question in terms of are there going to be any cubs in the near future, it's an interesting one at the moment. So all of the lionesses in this pride are either on contraception or have had surgery to stop them from breeding. But one of the females is on a slow releasing capsule, and that's what's stopped her from breeding for the last little while. But that capsule's about to run out, and we now have the decision of whether we let them breed or we don't. And What we are doing this month, the month of September, is we're actually doing a game count, a census on the populations of general game, well, of everything, but of general game is what we'll focus on in terms of trying to figure out what our carrying capacity is in terms of animal numbers to, provide for lions in this ecosystem. So we need to figure out, do we have higher numbers of their main prey species, which has been zebra, wildebeest, giraffe and kudu. We'll look at those 4 species and we'll have a look at the numbers from the previous 2 years and just look to see if those numbers are increasing. Then we will very likely allow that lioness to breed next season with these males and allow the pride to grow. A lioness will usually give birth to, on average, 2 or 3 cubs, sometimes 4, but the average is 2 or 3. And then we would allow those cubs to grow up, and we would be comfortable knowing that there's sufficient prey on this reserve for the lions, to the point that the lions killing this prey don't affect the entire balance, the ecosystem. So it's a very finely managed system, which you have to manage, of course, because we're on a smaller fenced reserve, so we have to maintain that balance. Just looking back at the sunset here, it's absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to just ask Andrew to quickly show you this beautiful sunset, everybody, that's pushing through the acacia trees here to our left. And a gorgeous evening. The end of another beautiful day here in Africa. So fortunate to call this place home. And to sit here with these 2 beautiful beasts. Apologies for all the grunting and coughing, everybody. I'm just busy catching a cold from my son Harrison. It's been a constant this entire winter. He's dreaming now. Run for Gareth. Just an update, I think the elephants were seen somewhere around Siakui Dam, and I'm sitting with the 2 male lions on Twin Crossings, or just south of Twin Crossings, west of the Raptors Deadwood Blaubank corner. Yeah, and then the Pride somewhere around Hippo Dam, and I think that's about it.
Copy that, thanks, Gareth.
A lovely cool breeze. It's busy passing over us and over these male lions right now. I must be loving the fact that it's now starting to drop off the temperature. I'm hoping it might mean that they'll get up soon. Good afternoon, Rosemary. Good to have you with us. As you'll clearly see, we have found 2 of the 3 male lions snoozing at the moment. We're hoping they're going to get up for us pretty soon, though. Still wonderful to be in their presence and be this close to them. big sigh. Come on, big guy, I know you're thinking about it. Busy wondering where their brother might be. My father was tracking their brother earlier. Haven't heard much from Mr. Poole Senior, so I don't think he's had any success in finding that other male just yet. But you never know, we might hear that other male start roaring, which will certainly get these two interested and might respond to their brother. The amount of hours I've sat watching lions sleep, waiting to get action. You know, having done this for 13 years, if you add all the hours I've spent with them sleeping like this, probably very easily a couple of weeks to put all those hours together. Good little stretch there from the other male. But I have on so many occasions been rewarded with some incredible moments with lions by being patient and sitting with them. Because the reality is it can change in a flash. I think it's slowly starting to change here right now. I might just start raising their heads and start grooming themselves, thinking about moving off. We'll spend another 10 to 15 minutes here, everybody, and just see if we get lucky. With some action, maybe the roaring will happen, which is always our favourite when we sit with these boys this time of the day. Most incredible sound out here in the African bush. Yeah, those hairy elbows are amazing. And a clear sign of a specific gene in these two males, or in fact all three of them. They definitely have some bloodline that comes from Kalahari lions. A bit of those genetics in their bloodline. Those Kalahari male lions are renowned for dark manes, and dark manes that stretch along the belly, and black fur on the elbows. These two males have a brother, and the three of them are, they are brothers from a pride born not too far from here. In fact, only about 60 miles north of here is where they were born. So they were born into a local pride and then relocated to this reserve. Sorry, last station, can you please repeat? Thanks for joining us, Jan. It's a great pleasure to have had you with us. Hope you have a wonderful day. Good evening, Shannon. Thank you for joining us. I'm glad you managed to catch up with us just before the end. As you can clearly see, we are spoilt with another close-up sighting of these beautiful male lions. We've been sitting here patiently hoping that they were going to get up for us, maybe even roar for us. But for the time being are pretty dead to the world. There's not been a lot of signs of life just yet. One or two small stretches. Just a quick reminder to everybody that has tuned in on this afternoon's safari. Just a reminder that tonight's That's Wild show will be airing at 7 p.m. So just over an hour where I'll be hosting another very exciting show about vultures. Of course, it's International Vulture Week, or was International Vulture Day yesterday, and I'm very excited about tonight's show, focusing on vulture conservation, a critically endangered species. All of them are vulnerable, some of them critically endangered, and we're doing everything in our power to try and spread the word about vulture conservation. So it's going to be a really interesting show, everybody, so please do tune in tonight. Copy, Kevin. Make your way. Yes, exactly, Shannon. They are so critical. Vultures are such an important part of the ecosystem, obviously cleaning up all of the carcasses and controlling the spread of disease, not just to other animals, but to human beings themselves. Vitally important species that we need to do everything in our power to protect. And it's really tough at the moment. You know, intentional, unintentional poisoning, power lines, the loss of, their regular feeding grounds, habitat destruction, nest site destruction. It's just frightening how much is up against them at the moment. So really are in desperate need to try and work harder at trying to protect them, and there are a lot of good people, a lot of fantastic organisations that are doing that. We, of course, at Painted Dog do everything we can and work very closely with the Endangered Wildlife Trust in trying to monitor the vultures, certainly here on the Rietspruit Game Reserve. We, of course, rescued a vulture recently which unfortunately hit a power line and ended up in the reservoir just outside HQ, just outside headquarters. But yeah, I managed to rescue that white-backed vulture, fortunately. Oh, there you go. Saying hello to Kevin and Greer, who've just come to join us. Yeah. Obviously my dad didn't have much luck with those tracks. I don't know if you heard, but he had tracks of one male going down Knobthorne from Ledwood Drive. Okay. I think they went down to try and go have a look at the elephants around Sekwe Dam. Gee whiz. You boys are certainly enjoying their sleep this evening. I would have thought for sure they would have got up by now. In your vehicle, is it not Brent's second phone? I think so. Possibly Helen. Alright everybody, we're going to give it a couple more minutes here, otherwise I think we might head off. The last sort of 15 minutes left in our safari this afternoon. There's definitely no signs of life here this evening. There's usually a bit more sort of stretching, yawning and grooming that might go on before they get up. We haven't had any of that here yet tonight, so I suspect it might be a while yet before these boys get up. Is it that Baluli section they're burning, Kevin? Okay. Yeah. Alright boys, I think we're going to love and leave you. It's been wonderful to have spent this time with you regardless. You are clearly not going to put on a massive show for us tonight, but still very good to see you. Kevin, I'm going to head off. See if I can bump into a leopard on the way out of here. APHIS.
Yeah, so you can
See what's happening. Brilliant, thank you. Yeah, it's hectic.
I'll ask if anyone's missing a foot. I think it's Brent, but yeah, I mean, he went in the vehicle. I'll get hold of Jason.
Enjoy, guys. Have fun. Bye, boys. Well, that certainly was very lovely. Always good time spent with those male lions. Got this huge amount of smoke that's just swept over the reserve now, everybody, which is what Kevin and I were just discussing. There's a massive fire that started in the Kruger National Park, about 80, 90 miles northeast of us. And it's amazing how much smoke has now been swept in by the wind from a fire that far away. Just about every day there's a fire popping up at the moment in this surrounding area. A lot of hard work for the management teams trying to control all of these veld fires. Thank you, Mary. Yeah, so much fun tracking these big cats. So I left those two male lions still stationary, same position, close to the Raptors Leadwood Blowbank corner, with two stations, Kevin in control. Come on, little leopard. Be the icing on the cake. I was quite happy this morning to discover fresh female leopard tracks here on Leadwood, which I actually tracked on foot for about half a mile through the bush. I ended up finding some fresh rhino tracks, and she was walking on top of that rhino's tracks along a prominent game path. With the but to find the rhino. But I'm pretty sure at least some apologies for that. Good now. I think we lost you there a little bit. We had some gremlins as I went through a drainage line. Just saying, we had some fresh tracks of a female leopard on Leadwood this morning, which I was tracking. Never found the leopard, but a good sign that the Leadwood female is still active in that area. Some Nyala. Hello, little Nyala. So cute, these little babies. Certainly one of my favourite antelope. Their markings are brilliant.
Stations I've got no hope, and to baby and critical.
Good luck, little baby Nyala. Watch out for the leopards. Kobe. Over here at Sandy, one of the open a little off. One of the Waterhole Reserve. So as I was just trying to say earlier, everybody, No Hope and her little calf have just been located at a waterhole in the south of the reserve. So that's very good news. They're still doing very well. Maybe we'll catch up with them again tomorrow. But I am heading back to camp now, everybody. Time to go and prep and set up for the That's Wild show. Very excited about it. Just an hour to go now. So please do join us, and thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. It's been an absolute pleasure again, guiding you on this very special reserve. Thank you, Andrew. Good job, bud. Very glad we didn't have lines. Very good, very good. Yeah, it's always a plus. Don't have to change any underwear tonight. Yeah,
Slowly running out.
yeah, exactly. It's a great pleasure, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you all again very soon. And if I don't see you on the show in an hour's time, have a lovely day, and I'll see you on a safari sometime soon. Thanks, everybody. Keep well.